Hello. Alrighty. You want to start off the video, Trevor?
Hi, YouTube.
Alright, so my car is back in the shop and the hood's off and the motor's right there. So today we're going to work on putting the motor in, the drivetrain, and then fitting the exhaust. And pretty much staying into the shop until it's done. So we got Trevor here. He's going to help me. Number one guy. And yeah, it's back on the lift. So here we go. Alright, so Trevor cleaned up valve covers, put them back on for now. Got to pull them off again to clean up the bungs for the overflow. We got the motor mounts. We had to modify them a little bit because these SHP dart blocks have some webbing back here that interfere with the motor mounts. So got little slots in there, put it back in. Got both sides on. I also got to get another 1-inch bolt, but we're just going to mock it up right now and set it in, because we're going to see if we need the motor mount spacers for the steering rack on the stock K-member, because we're not quite sure. We have to use it on Tori's car, but he has the maximum tubed K-member. Then we're going to double check this clutch. We need to go over it real quick. We think one of the clutch packs got put in backwards, possibly. So we're going to check that stuff just real quick while it's out. We're going to lift it in and set it down and see how it fits. Okay, so the motor is in the car. And we stopped, and the first thing that we wanted to do was try and see if my headers will fit. Any guesses? Because the guess is right if you said no f***ing chance. We got one side on and separated them and set them in there. But with this K-member, which we knew was going to be an issue because it's stock K-member, there's no clearance for it. So we're on to plan B, figuring that out. We're going to ignore it right now, pretend like it never happened, and put in the bell housing and transmission and get everything exactly where it needs to be, and then we'll mess with it a little bit more. But right now it's looking like it's going to take a lot more work. Probably going to send this off and get some custom headers. That's where I'm thinking right now, because I don't know if I want to put in the time. So we're going to keep going and put things in and then take them back out later. Right, Trevor?
Yeah.
That's what we're good at.
Yeah, the phrase that I hear all the time, it's like, oh my God, that's like fitting a hot dog down a hallway.
That's the wrong. This would be nice if it was a hot dog down a hallway.
Oh, wait. Sorry, reverse that, right?
Yeah, fitting a hallway down a hot dog.
Yeah.
Alright, we are back to where we were for the last 6 months. Motor is not in the car. We had to pull it back out because our motor mount bolts on this side were shimmied up just to get it set in and see what kind of show we got, and we have a good show. So pull it back out, we're gonna get the mounts 100% so we at least complete something today, and then put the motor back in, and then put everything else in, hopefully. And that's where we're at. We're having a good time. Good times are being had. And I want to show you guys what Tori's doing while we're working on the car. This is his new side hustle. He now sells vintage windows.
God, get out of here, dude. Unreal.
Dude, they look so clean. You're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, don't
yeah,
spray him.
yeah.
Don't spray the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later.
Alrighty. Hey, did you clean the cat box? Oh, you did. Good.
Cat box is done. We're good.
Alright. So yesterday we were working on putting the motor in the car, and had a lot of buddies show up and come over and check everything out. So we didn't get quite as much footage, at least for me, explaining what was going on. So I want to kind of show you guys how everything sits right now and kind of talk about what we're going to do in the future. So motor, bell housing, trans, basically everything's in other than the drive shaft to the rear end, which I still have to get made. Basically how it worked out, pretty much everything lined up where we thought it was going to line up based off of what I did just with the other block and the transmission. It changed a little bit because with this block we had to modify these mounts for the webbing off the block where the mount is. So it moved the mount just a little bit, ever so slightly. I don't have the spacers in right now between the mount and the block, and it looks like we have good clearance on the K-member and the steering rack. Think it should be okay. There's a possibility we still might raise it up a little bit. But I'm trying to keep everything as low as possible on this because I want to try and fit this carb and air filter under the hood, and it's gonna be hard as is. And we got the transmission in. I'll show you guys just from here. Shifter's all in. Fits good. It fit good with the existing trans tunnel that I made. It wasn't too bad putting it in. Just had to make a small little trim on the trans tunnel, and I might have to make another one where the shift linkage is. Other than that, that's pretty much all we got done yesterday. It took a little bit of time to kind of figure out what exactly the process we were going to do and how we were going to do it, and making sure everything was fitting right. There wasn't any issues and nothing looked wonky after putting it in. Here it is. It has a motor in it. Pretty exciting. And we're going to continue to keep this thing on the lift and work on it until it's done. And we got our beautiful new list set up that I just did today. More stuff to do with Brutus, as you guys will see. A little bit more work to do on Tori's drift car, at least before competition. And my really small list. Basically, this list is to finish. The very last thing is add fluids, and then it's going to be fire up. Got my parts list as of right now, what I know off the top of my head that I'm going to need for the car. Little overwhelming. So it's going to be interesting. I'm shooting for the first event I'm going to be going to in April. Hopefully the first event out at Evergreen, April 23rd, for the big bounty tournament. I'm hoping I go out and make it to that competition, but my main goal is to be 110% ready for June, and that's Evergreen's shootout event, because obviously for this, with this car, it's meant to get my license and continue on from there. So I got to be kind of picky and choosy with what events that I do and what I run the car in, because other than that, it's going to be a lot of test days, hitting open drifts when I can just to get seat time in the car. We're hoping to do a little bit of traveling, maybe up to Canada, California, Colorado. We'll have to see. Lots of work ahead. There's going to be plenty of stuff for you guys to see as we continue this build series on this car. Even though it took a little bit of a break while we were waiting for this bad boy to show up. Happy that it's here, happy that it's in, happy that it fits for the most part. And that's it for now. Peace.